Welcome to the presentation about the 5 questions. These 5 questions help you critique someone's work, but it helps you critique in a particular way. It doesn't let you focus on the artist or whoever is producing the material that you're critiquing. Rather, it has you think about the artwork itself or the material itself in context of the audience. Pulling these 5 questions together will help you give good feedback, enabling the artist or the creator to better address their audience. The first of 5 questions is all about connection. When you get down to it, connection is really hard to describe. It's one of those experiences a presenter and the audience feels when they meet on a common ground and begin discussing as peers. You can't really quantify it, but at least we know when it happens. So that means we're going to have to critique whether the materials enable the presenter and audience to have that experience. So the goal of the first question is to improve the material's ability to engage and persuade stakeholders. Because if you don't have that, you don't have any connection. The question you need to ask yourself while giving feedback to your peer is this: do the persuasive materials feel like they are talking to the audience or talking at them? Two different things. How can this relationship be improved? By thinking about this question and meeting the goal of this critique, you'll be able to talk about the connection and give really good feedback using the first of 5 questions. This discussion opened up with the idea that the presentation is sort of like an artwork, because it is. And since it's an artwork, it has some sort of visual impact, and hence the second question. The goal of the second question is very straightforward. It's to help the presenter improve the effectiveness and aesthetics of their visuals. That's not so hard. This is important because when we get down to it, good visuals can make a presentation and bad ones can break it or just make it utterly confusing. So we need to ask questions like this. Do the visuals, charts, images, graphs, or whatever, simplify complex ideas, or are they just repeating previously stated material? Depending upon your answer to that question, given the materials you're asked to review, you'll be able to give feedback and help the presenter maximize or optimize, or at least improve, the visual impact of their presentation. And as you know, good visual impact is highly persuasive and will contribute to their persuasive presentation. Every artwork or every presentation has some sort of story to it. The story is what drives it. It is also what helps us understand what we're supposed to understand while viewing the presentation. Also, a good story is engaging. As we all well know, if we have a book with a good story, we're going to sit down and we're going to read it from cover to cover and really enjoy it. It's going to engage us. It's going to grab us. So presentations, just like artwork, just like stories, need to have an actual story. So this question is all about exploring the material structure, pacing, and storytelling effectiveness. Does it help or hinder the presenter in telling their story as part of the argument? The question you can ask yourself as to give feedback is here. Does the persuasive presentation have a clear beginning? Does it rise up to the action and problem, offer a solution, and have some sort of ending? Because if you think about it, that's what most stories have. So should the presentation. So keep this question in mind while helping the presenter explore ways to improve their storytelling effectiveness and give feedback accordingly. Question number 4 is all about the delivery. Why? Well, we know delivery is important. If you have a pizza and you're going to have it delivered, and if somebody just throws in a box and throws in the back of the car and throws their stuff on top of the box while delivering your pizza to your house, you're really not going to enjoy the pizza when it arrives. In this case, delivery is everything. Same thing for what you'll be critiquing. If the delivery is off, it's going to sound choppy, weird. It's not going to feel right. You're not going to get what you need to get from that presentation. And, worse yet, whatever the presenter is trying to tell you will not make it to you because the delivery is wrong. Now, let's give them a little feedback on that. So the goal of question number 4 is to remind the presenter to be mindful of what they should be saying versus what they should be showing. I know it sounds a little strange, but hang in there for a moment. In order to talk about this, you can ask yourself this sort of question and give feedback accordingly. Where could materials be converted into a simpler image or a quote to force a speaker to elaborate verbally? Because sometimes, most of the time, a delivery can be hampered by trying to say too much or saying the wrong things, and instead of saying and showing in a much more coordinated and meaningful way. So sometimes words are better replaced with a mixture of words and images. So think about this and give feedback accordingly. Question number 5, the takeaway question. This is the most difficult question because it's one of those things that vary depending upon each person in the audience and how they perceive the presentation. Why? It's the same reason why everyone sees an artwork differently. That's a matter of psychology, life path, and a whole pile of other things. Let's not get into that, even though that would make an awesome discussion. But for the 5th question, our goal is this. It's to avail the presenter to think about their overall persuasiveness and impact. Basically, what did the audience get out of your presentation and its materials? You know, not a tough question. You can ask yourself a question like this below. What feelings and information should the audience leave with? How do the materials ensure that takeaway? If you find yourself thinking, the